Hello Scratchers, let's learn about costumes and animation in Scratch. We're going to start by making our own sprite. Hover, click paint, here it is. Lets you make squares. You can choose whether or not there's outlining and pick the color, and you can also choose how thick the outline is. So, got two different colors. This tool lets you move stuff around. This tool lets you click on the different nodes and deform the shapes, so make new shapes. The eraser lets you erase all or part of an object. The paint bucket lets you change the fill or fill in an empty space, lets you type text, draw lines, draw circles, draw squares. All right, I'm going to start off by selecting everything and deleting and drawing a circle. Now, this dot here in the very center of my animation is really important, and here I haven't used it right. If I ever rotate my object, like turn 15 degrees, it's going to rotate in this really big circle around the center here. That's because this here is the center of the object. To fix this, I'm going to click on the object, and you see the little plus that came up? That's the center of my circle. I'm going to line it up so that it's just right. Okay. Now I'm going to use the node tool to deform this circle a little bit and make it into a spaceship shape. So I want this nice boomerang shape, and I'm gonna just play with these sliders. Okay. Now I want to add animation. In order to do that, I have to create more costumes. The easiest way is to two-finger click and say duplicate. Now I can add on to the costume. So I'm going to add a little bit of red. And then I'm going to duplicate the original again, change the order, and I'm going to add a little bit of yellow. Okay. Notice as I click on these costumes, it switches which one is activated in the window over here. So, in order to make this into an animation, I'm going to start an event. When I click on the green flag, control, I want this animation to repeat forever. And under looks, I'm going to try just doing next costume and click go. So this sort of works, but as you can see, it could be better. A couple things that I can do to improve this are to use a weight block. This will slow it down. That's too slow for a spaceship. So I can use fractions and decimals to put in a different speed. And so now I have this nice animation. There is one frame where there's no engine. And if I want to change that, instead of just saying next costume, I can pick which costumes I want. So I can do switch costume to costume 3 and switch costume to costume 2. And when I program it like this, I'm going to want to put a weight after each one. There we go. Let's try this one. Now I have the same animation that I had before, but with only the 2 frames that I want. Okay. Let's also look at changing a Scratch sprite that someone else made. Here is the butterfly in Scratch. Now, if I look at the costumes that it has available, there's nothing where it's flapping its wings, which I think is too bad. I'd like the butterfly to be able to fly. You can actually make some new animation for this by right-clicking and saying duplicate. Then you can select the part that you want to change. So now I've got this whole wing as one selection. And I'm going to use this arrow to make it smaller. And do the same on the other side. Now, there are these extra frames of animation which I might end up using in my project, but I don't want to use them right now. And this A, B, C, I'm not sure what that one means. So I'm going to name this one Big Wing Flap, and the second one Small Wing Flap. Go back to my code. Now I'm programming the butterfly. When I click the green flag, repeat forever. Looks, switch costume to Big Wing Flap. And I also want Small Wing Flap. And I know from last time that I'm going to want a wait in between both of those animations. Because this is a butterfly flapping its wings slowly, 1 second might be enough. Let's find out. Yeah, that looks quite nice.